Recording. Okay, guys, we wanted to get on here today and do a call about Facebook Lives. I know that they are scary. I don't like doing them myself. I don't feel comfortable even doing this right now, but it's something that has to get done. So I wanted to get Ashley on here because she is amazing at Facebook Lives. First of all, I'm Mary Shear, and I am a Gold Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide. I've been with the company for 2 years now. And Ashley is my level 1. And Ashley, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, my name is Ashley Jimenez. I am a silver ambassador, and I started in September of 2016. So it's been it's been a year now, actually. And I hadn't started actually working the business side of Plexus until I would say maybe 3 months ago. So here we are.
Yes. Okay, so you just recently started doing lives, right? Because you weren't working your business.
Yeah.
But what made you decide to start doing lives?
I like watching other people's lives, and people want to see your life. And they want to see it in the real. And there's kind of a little bit of an element that people want to see something crazy happen when they're watching a live. It's like a reality TV show. Like, is your kid going to run in the room naked or something, or what's going to happen? But it's also just sharing your life with people, just opening up and talking about what's important to you. And there's a sense of vulnerability, I feel like, when you do a live, because you are just in front of people. You can't see their face. You don't know what they're thinking, and you're sharing your product, you're sharing your life, and just your testimony. So I think overall they're just really helpful. And I personally like watching other people's lives to see what they're talking about. I don't want to listen to someone go on and on and on about nothing. Like, I want there to be a point, like a beginning, a middle, and an end. But they're just helpful, and people like to watch them. I don't know what it is. We're just drawn into reality TV things and like real life shows. So I think that's why.
Yeah. So you are I don't know what I'm doing that. You're good at speaking, but and I think you have that gift and talent. But would you say that doing live was it nerve-wracking or hard, or how was that?
Yeah. Oh, totally. It totally is, because you're like, oh my gosh, no one's on here right now. This is dumb. I'm going to shut it off. And then someone gets on, you're like, oh shoot, I actually have to talk about something because someone's watching me. And you're like, but what if I say something dumb? So I would say, like, nerve-wracking. I'm usually out of breath when I sit down because I've thought about what I want to say. And then I'm like, and I'm really pregnant. So I think that might have something to do with it. But yeah, it is kind of nerve-wracking. I'm usually hot by the time that it's over. And I always make myself, after my video loads, I always make myself watch my live. And you have to do that, whether you're a teacher, a speaker, you're doing a live, you're recording yourself for something, you have to go back and watch yourself to critique yourself. Was I sitting weird? Did I say a lot? Why did I touch my face that many times? Just little things like that. And for any of you that are married, like, let your husbands critique you. Even if they don't really want to do Plexus or they're not into it, let them critique you. Like, it's super helpful. Yeah. And Josh is helpful for me like that. He's like, I can tell you were nervous because you said a lot. You cleared your throat a lot. But it is nerve-wracking when you first do it. But it gets easier as you do them and you just talk.
Yeah. I know it is a good point about going back and watching it. I think it's super helpful that you do that, because for me, I noticed I was doing like this thing, like I was like scratching my back, like like my armpit is in the camera, like it was so weird. So I think it's super helpful that you go back and watch what you've done, because you'll pick up on those little weird things that you do, and you'll cut it out the next time and you'll be aware of it. So that was a super helpful tip. But you said it does get easier, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But do you always want to get on and do a live? Or do you just, right? You just.
I'd say over half the time, I'm like, I don't want to do this right now.
Right. But you just got to get it done.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Do you keep going even if nobody jumps on?
Yes, I do. Because a lot of the times when I get on, most people are sleeping. I have little people. So the best time for me to do a live sometimes is when they're asleep at nighttime. And sometimes it's late, or it's during the middle of the afternoon when either most people are working or their kids are napping, or it's lunchtime. So even when no one watches, like I'll still do it. And I think get more views after that. You can go back and actually watch your live. And you can see how many views you've gotten. So normally there's more views way after the fact that I actually posted. There are viewers while I'm actually doing it. So
I know for me, when I did my testimony, I was kind of discouraged because it didn't look like anybody jumped on. I think like 3 people jumped on, but then they kept leaving. And so I was like, oh my gosh, nobody wants to see this. But I just kept doing it. And then you go back and look at that testimony, it's over, I think last time I looked, it was like 1.8 thousand have watched so far. So you never know. Like, it might not be seen right then, but share it. It's been shared a couple times as well. So I would say don't be discouraged if nobody jumps on. I actually like it when nobody jumps on because then I don't have the pressure. If I messed up, I can just delete it. So I would say don't be discouraged if nobody jumps on. Hey, Kristen.
Yeah, definitely. And no one's commenting, so it's less distracting too. Like when the things are going on the bottom, I'm like, what did my mom okay, focus. So it's kind of nicer when someone doesn't jump on.
That was another thing I was going to ask you. Do you always respond to those comments? Because I know for me, I get super distracted and lose my train of thought.
Yeah, it just depends. Like sometimes my family jumps on and says funny stuff, and so I'll answer them just because it's them. But others, I've said before, like I'm not going to answer any questions right now, but I'll go back and I'll answer in my comments. So especially if you have like a lot to share, like I did an overview of the X Factor Plus, and there was a lot of people that were writing things, and I couldn't do it. So I said it from the start, and I didn't want it to be like 25 minutes long. So even though it was really long, but I tried to just keep pushing through and do what I was doing.
Yeah. And then how do you decide, or what do you think the best first Facebook Live is? You probably do our first Plexus post. Typically, it's, hi, I've started these products. Would anybody like to join? Type of. What would you suggest for a first Facebook Live?
I probably like a testimony, just like where you're at your life, or if you've already been taking the products for a while, you can share like some of your own stuff that you've seen change in your own life is always good. I definitely got pregnant from taking Plexus. Not that there was no other form of not trying to get pregnant, but that was like a shocker to me. Like, Mary, you were like the first person that I called or sent a picture to. I was like, you're not going to believe this. So that was something that I wanted to share personally, because between Abby and Jacob, my oldest and my second, there was a big gap because I had such a hard time getting pregnant. So that was the first thing that I wanted to share was like, hey, listen, like I wasn't taking these products to try to get, to try to have a baby, but then I started reading all the testimonies too. So that's where it started for me. Usually when things are personal, people are willing to listen to you. Most of us have close friends, family, people that trust us, that love us, that want to hear what you have to say. But like we kind of get tripped up in our mind that we don't want to bug people, or we don't want to, when really just when you put it out there and you give them the opportunity to listen, most people will. Okay. And they don't have to respond while you're doing a live either. They can just listen to you and really think about what you're saying. So usually I would say like a personal testimony is best. And if you just started and you don't have any personal testimonies because you just started taking the products, you can just talk about, I don't know, what you're excited to see happen or the things that you've heard about our products. And it doesn't have to be super long or in-depth either.
Right. Now, do you only do Plexus Facebook Lives?
No, I'll do some other lives too. Like last night, my homeschool fail. Like sitting in my floor, I didn't have my curriculum that I thought I did. So not always. I don't want people to see that I'm on a live and they're like, oh, she's doing a live about,
exactly
whatever. About Plexus again. But so it's just sharing your life. Like I'll do lives about if we've done one when we've been at church or other things like that. So yeah, not always Plexus. I'll do like life stuff too.
Well, you made a good point earlier about people want to see they want to see a reality show. So if it's a constant commercial of Plexus, then they're going to find out and they're not going to even want to watch. So I think it's very helpful and beneficial if we're showing them our life. And I think it's beneficial to show them the bad, not the bad, but like that our life isn't perfect all the time. And so people want to see that, like your Facebook or your homeschool Phil, like that was going to be encouraging to somebody else. And so I think too, that's good to share a little bit of the negative, not always negative though. Like, I don't think we should be negative all the time at all, but I think that's great to show a little bit of reality, you know, so you can be more relatable. So I think that's super helpful, Ashley. How do you decide on what Plexus Facebook Lives you do? See, look at now I'm doing that arm again.
Yeah. The armpit. It's pretty much like whatever I've been like looking into or researching for that day. So I had just watched the not last night, but the night before, the Rank Up roadmap in our back office, and I hadn't watched that before, and I think all of that is fairly new. It looked pretty new, and like all of our welcome kits are also available online. And so I just watched one of the videos that was in there, and it was about 25 minutes, and they were talking about just the importance of like business development, personal development, and leadership development. And so for me, I was like, okay, personal development for me is like, I need to do a Facebook Live, or like, I need to do this, or like product knowledge. So like listening to what those gals had said, and like, okay, I need to inform myself with like the business side of things, our product, and also like personally developing me. So when it comes to like what I'm going to share, like I'll think about those few things, like, okay, what would be the most beneficial thing for me to share today? Like what I learned about a product, or maybe like the business side of stuff. Like I got super excited when I watched like Whitney War share her story about what had happened with another company she was with. And then I started looking into the business, more of the business side of Plexus. I'm like, man, we have a great company. We really do. And I wanted to share that, people. And that was probably the most nerve-wracking one that I've ever shared, because I didn't really want to share personal information about our income. I didn't want to share, you know, like I'm not at a place where we're rolling in the dough, you know, like that's not life. But I wanted to share the real side of that. Like, yeah, my husband makes good money, but he's gone constantly. Like that is not quality of life for me. That's just not. And so that was just on my heart. Like it was whatever I had seen that day or read about that day that makes me want to do a video about those things. But you have to be reading, and you need to spend time working your business just like you would at a job, you know, like it's the same thing.
And would you say that doing a Facebook Live helps you retain that knowledge that you've learned?
Yeah. Whenever you're, when you take things in and you're reading them, and you're assimilating what you're learning, that holds some weight. But then when you are reteaching or sharing with somebody else, just like with your kids for homeschool, you are able to actually retain that information better. Or if you're writing it down and taking notes, your brain is going to be able to remember what you're learning even better. So it helps you remember stuff, definitely.
And for you guys, you were saying you're not rolling in the dough and all that. And there's so many people out there that aren't going to come out and vocalize that. But for you, that you did that, now they're really going to be watching. They're going to be watching your story. They're going to be watching to see how this whole Plexus thing works. So you just created even more of an audience, because they're going to want to watch and see what happens next for you.
Yeah.
So I think it's huge to share our hearts and be vulnerable too sometimes.
Yeah.
So let me see, what else did I have for you?
Even like with this baby too, you know, like I am kind of nervous to have another C-section, and I'm not excited about having a C-section. I don't have an option because I've already had 3, but like I've noticed a difference in my emotions with just the products that we've been on. And I'm like, for real, going to do a live, like after I have the baby, like on Tuesday morning from my hospital bed, and just like say how I do feel. Like I think that there's a very real side of not making everything seem like it's fine all the time. Like you said, not being super negative about stuff, but being open. I don't appreciate it when people are super fake with me, or they're not honest about how life is going. I don't want you to dump all your stuff on me. Like God's so much bigger than that, and he carries our burdens for us, but there's real struggles in life. And like, and I want to share that side of like my life. I've always been like that. So even just like my healing process for, you know, this time around, like I feel a lot better physically and mentally. So I know my recovery is going to be different, and I want to be able to capture that. And it's going to be real vulnerable, because it's like after the fact with the baby. But even Josh is like, you're not like emotional or like whiny or crying or anything. I was like, I know I'm not, weird.
Yeah.
So
I can't wait to see how your recovery goes. I know Bridget's was amazing after her
yeah,
second baby. So I can't wait to see that live. So,
yeah, same.
okay, so let's see. So you weren't working the business for about 10 months, right?
Right.
And then when you did started working the business, you started doing lives. That's what
Yeah,
kind of launched your business, right?
yeah.
Um, so from that, now you had added people just because that's who you are. Like you could just say something and they were going to jump on board with you. But when you really started trying to do the business side of it, you did start doing the Facebook Lives. How many people did you add last month just from doing Facebook Lives?
I think 9, 8 or 9.
That's
Yeah,
huge to add
yeah.
9 people. And would you say that that was because of the Facebook Lives?
Yeah, and posting. But the lives had a lot to do with it. Even, and I've gotten people that have messaged me just yesterday at my dad's house. My sister's friend was like, I love your videos. She's never commented. She's never texted me. She's never told me anything. She's like, I love your videos. They're so informative. And I just like watching your life. This is my younger sister's friend. And I was like, people are always watching you, whether they say something or not. It might take them a year to come around. And that's with anything in life, not just even Plexus, just people are watching your life. And so what are you modeling in your life? And this is a priority for our family. We are not perfect. We don't eat perfect, life in general, but people are always watching. So I think that's a good reminder of, even when nobody comments, like people are watching. And then she was one, I didn't bring it up yesterday. She was one that's like, "Oh, tell me about your product." So I think lives are helpful. Some people don't want to ask questions, but it definitely sparks their interest. Like, why are you taking the time to talk about these products? Like, you're a mom, you have kids, you homeschool, you run a business. Like, it piques an interest. So,
Right. But you were saying, I know you had messaged me a couple of times last month, and you're like, dude, I haven't even reached out to anybody. Everybody's
yeah,
coming to me
yeah.
after these Facebook Lives, and you couldn't keep up, right?
Yeah, I was stressed out. It was like stressful. It was great, but I was like, I can't keep up with everyone. But it was good. And that's the kind of like, just from posting those videos, so many people had questions or like links. And I'm trying to find like, hey, this person is diabetic and they need this, or this lady has lupus. Like, how can I send this? And I mean, it's super helpful because it's making me learn, but it's just like, it goes to show when you just get on and talk about a product that's working for people, people are interested and they're going to contact you. They just are.
Yeah. So you didn't have to do all that work of reaching out to your
Mm-hmm.
Franks list. The Franks list was coming to you, right?
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
people that you didn't even know would be on your Franks list were
Yeah.
coming to you.
That I hadn't talked to or seen in a long time. They're like, hey, so about these products. I'm like, wow, I haven't talked to you in like 15 years. Like, this is kind of crazy.
Don't you have people in other countries contacting you?
Yes, I do. I have a phone call later today, actually, at 12 with my friend in Peru.
So all this to say, I would highly recommend doing Facebook Lives because it's taken a lot of work out of reaching out for you.
Yes.
Now, it might dry up for you in a little bit, and then you might start having to reach out. But for right now, when you started your business, you have not really reached out to anybody, have you?
No, I have some people on my list that I specifically would like to have on my team where I want their input, and their nurses or their doctors or their nutritionists that I'm like, you would be really valuable to me. And I know that their lives are busy. So I think that's why, and they're not on social media a lot. So, but for the most part, people have come to me, and I agree with you. There will be a time when that'll probably fizzle out, but for right now, it hasn't yet.
Right.
So I'm taking advantage of that for sure.
But to add 8 to 9 people in 1 month without
Mm-hmm.
reaching out to one person is huge because I bust my butt reaching out to people all the
Yeah.
time, reaching out. And it's about you reach out to 10 people and you get one. So for
Yeah.
you to be able to do one Facebook Live and you're getting, well, you've done more than one Facebook Live, but for you to be doing Facebook Lives and you got that many actual ambassadors, and then how many potentials do you have? My gosh, like,
I have a page full of people's names
right? And you
that
have
have reached out, but they haven't signed yet, and they're not ready. They're like, okay, next month. Or even people that, like, I have a few people that are going to be in the States that live in other countries, and they're waiting to here because we don't ship to their country. And so that is like, it's just a waiting game, but it's been from a Facebook Live that they've contacted me.
right. So I highly, highly, highly recommend doing Facebook Lives. I messaged Bridget and I told her you're probably not gonna be able to jump on. She's so busy. But did you have any advice for us on Facebook Lives? And she said, people, like you said, Ashley, people want to see they want to see a reality show. And she says, and they're gonna jump on and watch you because they're too scared to do it themselves.
Yes.
So, and what do they say? The biggest fear of people is standing up in front of people and speaking. So if you have the courage to do this, if you have the courage to get up on a Facebook Live, then you've got something important to say and they're going to want to listen. So I say put your fears aside. Shoot, I dropped out of a college class because I knew I was going to have to get up and speak in front of them. I literally dropped the class. I would years ago, I would never ever thought that I would be doing something like this because this terrifies me. But something that's important, it's self-development, it's self-growth, and it's something that we have to do to grow our business. I'm more comfortable doing this than getting up in front of like a sip and see, but it's something that we need to do. We need to stretch ourselves. So I want to open it up to any questions. Kristen, did you have any questions? You probably unmute yourself.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh wait, am I muted?
No, you're on.
Oh, I am? Okay. I don't really have questions because I watch all your videos. I'm just really, really nervous to get on there. I can't do it. I even told Mary I did a whole video and it was like 13 minutes long. I'm like, no one wants to watch that. It's too long. But I kept going on and on. And then now I'm like, I'm just too scared to do it. Every day I say, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And I message all my closest friends, like, you have to get on there so I'm not alone. And they're like, okay. And then they keep messaging me and saying, where are you? Why aren't you on? I'm like, I can't do it.
You can so do it, Kristen. You are a cheerleader in front of tons of people. If I can get on there and do it, you can do it.
I don't know why I'm so nervous. Because like I said to Mary, when I do reach out to people and tell them like my story, everyone wants to know and they want to buy and they're interested. I just have to reach more people, but I'm too nervous to do it.
Yeah. And you have with because with your son and your kids, that's huge. Like there's so many people that are where you are that are at a loss. They don't know what to do anymore. And so for you have a huge advantage on a completely different market that I can't even reach because of your situation. So, I mean, that's huge. Just sharing before and after and just your life on a daily basis. Like, that's a big deal.
Yeah. I've always been kind of closed off with my life. And I think that's why I'm so nervous. I kind of keep my stuff very private and I try to share all the great things that Logan goes through, but I don't share like the hardships because I don't want people to think I'm complaining. So I kind of keep that in to myself and but I know that when I do share, people want to know and people are interested in. I've always done supplements for Logan. We've always done everything. We've always been about gut health and this isn't new to us, but the products are new to us and they're working better than the other products. And I have a whole following because we have a huge group out here. It's an organization that we walk with every year. We do sports. Like right now, Logan's at soccer. And last Monday, a mom came up to me and said, I want to know the products you're using for Logan. I saw one of your posts and I want to try it. Yeah. So I know I have I have an entire group of like hundreds of people who have kids with autism on my page. And I'm just so nervous to like put it out there. I don't know.
The longer you wait, the harder it's going to be. So
I know.
Just do it.
I just hate seeing myself on film. Even right now, this is so weird.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, well, my nose looks big. Like, what is happening? Yeah,
I know. Like I have bags under my eyes. I just got out of the shower. My hair is wet.
You have to think about those kids that you're going to reach. So just like they've changed Logan's life, you need to just put your fears aside and think, man, how many kids' lives and how many parents' lives? I mean, how many parents didn't get sleep like you didn't for the first, 8 years?
Yeah.
So, put those fears aside and people are going to thank you. People are going to call you crying, thanking you because you did put the fears aside and got on and did a Facebook Live. Mm-hmm. So that's what I would say. Put that vision of those kids and those parents in your mind and just get over yourself. I think, Ashley, your husband told you that, right? Get over yourself and just do it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what he said. He said, your biggest issue is yourself. And I was like, and he's like, it is. He's like, once you get over yourself, you'll be fine. And I'm like, that's so dumb. And then I thought about it. I was like, oh, he's really right. So
yeah. Well, I know because when I watch everyone else's, I'm like, well, that seems so easy, or they're just them. But for me, I I don't know what it is. I just need to get on and do it. Maybe I need to take a shot or something first. Listen up a little bit. I don't know. I'm so nervous.
Even just like thinking of like how much sooner would you have started Plexus and with your son if you would have known the outcome. And so like the longer you wait, like those moms are like the same thing, like, oh my gosh, when is this? Because like it's not fun, some of the things you have to go through. That's like motherhood in general, and then you add any type of anything extra, it's really hard. But you're offering hope and you're offering change to moms that maybe they're just like at the end. They're just like done. They're willing to try anything. They don't know what else to do. You know, maybe, I don't know, but it's going to offer hope to them. And it is really like, okay, you have to share, like you have a responsibility really to share because you have the answer to fix something. So you just, you have to do it. But,
well, yeah, we've always used before. I've always shared with everyone, like, oh, you have to go to the store and get this. I tried this.
Yes.
You know, I spent thousands of dollars at the Dan doctor, and then I shared all the information that I paid thousands of dollars for other people to try because it was working.
Yeah, there's a fear too because we are a network marketing company, so people get super weirded out. So as soon as somebody finds out, they're like, well, it's a network marketing company. I was like, yeah, but Target doesn't pay me when I tell them about how cool the dollar bin was. And you know what? Like Trader Joe's doesn't give me free food when I tell them that their new really cool bread is there. And it's, so it's the same thing, and people just get weirded out. And it's like, I mean, and I've even said like, yeah, you don't have to do anything with the business. Just try the products. I'll give you products to try. I promise you won't be disappointed. And so when you come with that view too of like, okay, so yes, it is like, do you have an Amazon account? I do. Like, why? Who cares? Like where you're getting it from? It's not the mafia, you know? So just reminding them of that too. Like you don't have to do the business side of things. Like just for the products alone for yourself and for your family are worth it. That was the fear that I had because I had been involved in different things before too. I'm like, ugh, what are people going to think? And then I came to a point where I was like, I don't care. Like I've gained 20 pounds and I am almost 38 weeks pregnant. Like, let's let this baby roll. Like, so I'm like, I'm just going to share with everyone.
Yeah. Now, how long is too long for your first? Because I feel like my first one should be my why. And I wanted to tell people like why I use it, why I share it, and why I love it. But when I did it on my video and I videotaped myself first, is 13 minutes. Is that like long, right?
No, that's your why. That's totally fine. And I would maybe like start, because I'll get totally like rabbit trail and then I'm like, and then this one time, and then I forget what I was saying. So like I'll like bullet point, like, why did I start my, you know, when did it happen? So just so I stay on track. So I usually have like a notepad with me. So sometimes you can say I'm looking down at something because I don't want to, I could tell a story and I don't want to like totally go off track. So, but I think that's pretty normal. Like Mary, I think yours was like 12 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I was going to say, like, if you look at the times on like Bridget's, because for me, I tend to talk really fast and I'm nervous. So I just want to get done over with. So mine was, I think 12 minutes, which I would think would kind of be short. But like Bridget's, I was just looking at her times the other day and hers are like 25 to 30 minutes. So 13 is not at all. I think if you're doing a Facebook Live too, it takes people some time to get to their phone. So 5 minutes in, like, I think people are like, oh, she's on the live. She's on a live. So I think the first 5 minutes, most people don't even know that you're on.
Yeah.
Okay. Is what I would say. So 13 minutes, you're not talking anybody's ear off. Like that's, at that point, they're probably like, wait, is that it? Like, is there more to it? So I wouldn't be worried about that being too long at all.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Did you girls have anything else to say, or before I pause this video?
Just don't be afraid to share. I think there's people are trying to break into my room right now. Hold on, guys. I just not to be afraid to share. I think there's like this apprehension of being judged for sharing things. And there are some people, like I had someone that flagged one of my videos that I did as inappropriate content or spam. And I was like, for real, guys. And then I told Facebook that it wasn't, and they re-released what I had posted. But there are going to be some people that are annoyed, and that's okay. They can just unfollow you. And it's not, like I don't unfollow people because they're always talking about their kids and their sports. I just, maybe if I'm annoyed and I don't care about whatever, then I just won't look at their page, or I'll just scroll right past it. But just not being scared to share about our products. I think that was, for me, I felt too, like, how am I supposed to review these products? Like, I'm a mom. I have 3 kids. I'm at home. Like, I don't even have TV, okay? Like, I don't even know what's happening in the world right now. And I'm like talking about my supplements, but I know that they've made a difference for like our life and for me and for my family. So I'm going to want to share them. So just pushing past that like awkwardness of not feeling like you have something valid to say, because you do, because you have a product that people want and need. It's just pushing past the weirdness and doing it. So not to be discouraged and sharing.
Absolutely. Good points, Ashley. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. I'm going to stop it. So I want to thank you, Ashley, for getting on. Thank you, Kristen. Yeah. I'm going to post this in our team page. So if you guys want to come back and watch it, you can too. So let me stop here.